Hello dreamers, welcome back on my channel. In today's video I talk you about staging, how all the landscape elements move with the parallax effects and camera movements. In the first episode I showed you how to create a character from scratch, so if you haven't seen it yet, go and get the video. Today, as we were saying, we'll see how to build a scene where the character will have to move. As always, before starting, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. For me it's really very important and it doesn't cost you anything. Like, comment and hype from your smartphone. Thank you so much! There are many elements that I drew on Procreate, but since you have the file available on my drive, we'll go directly to see how to make the animations. To do this I duplicate the entire scene group because we'll redo the animations from scratch. And I'm going to rename the group Scene 1. Within your projects try to keep things as organized as possible, especially when the scenes become many. Also give it a color to make things more distinct. As I was saying, there are a few elements inside the scene. What we'll focus on are the background parts, the ground, the walls and the grids in the background. We don't need the character for today. There are also some noise effects that serve to give a bit of atmosphere to the scene, as if there was fog or smoke. I'm going to remove all the vertical shapes too, because what we are focusing on first is the ground. Some of you may have already understood that the ground has a rectangular shape that I have distorted, but let's see together how. But the first fundamental thing that we'll need for the camera movements and as a reference is to set a point in the center of the scene. This point must remain outside the scene group, because it will always have to remain there. As you know, Dreams does not yet have camera settings, so we have to create one. For this reason, the anchor point of the entire scene will have to be exactly in that point. Here. From that point I will then be able to zoom and rotate the scene, for example. To get this scenario where the character is leaning against the wall and hiding, there is an initial phase where the scene opens onto the landscape, and it's precisely this animation that we are going to see today. Do you recognize it? This is the scene's terrain, a rectangular shape I drew on Procreate. If I now go to distort the shape, I can get a perspective effect for the scene. I get help from Dreams by holding down on this point, because I want the horizon line to be straight. I also keep the buttons pressed at this point, but here I widen the vertices a lot. I hope that in the future an assisted drawing guide will arrive soon, and above all, snapping in these phases would be helpful. Ok, now I delete this. In this way I created perspective within the scene. Now I can build the scene by adding the other elements. Let's start with this wall that I'm going to place practically in the center. There will be another character inside the scene who will be behind this wall, but we'll see him later. I'm hiding it for now because now I want to add the grids behind. As you can see, I drew some lines on the ground that I'm using as a reference. I'll place this shape here, a little bit to the right. Ok. Now I can place this at this point. I think a little bigger. Ok. One larger, one smaller, and farther away to add depth to the scene. Next step, I can also fix the most foreground element, where the character is hiding. And I would say to place it in this spot. If you have downloaded the file, you will see that it is composed of two overlapping elements. This obviously serves to give greater three-dimensionality. Now that we have composed the scene, let's make the first animation. It will be a parallax effect combined with the camera movement. Because I want the scene to open onto the landscape, initially putting the wall you see on the left in the foreground. To create a sense of depth, we'll use a parallax effect, where different layers move at different speeds as the camera moves. In more advanced 2D animation software, this is handled by a multiplane camera, but since ProcreateDreams doesn't support this feature yet, we'll recreate it by animating each layer manually. And to do this, I start from the movement of the ground, which will serve as a reference for the vertical elements. I set a keyframe here at 3 seconds, and another one here at 6 seconds. But since the scene will have to open onto the landscape, what I will do is to change the keyframe to 3 seconds. At this point I will move the vertices down to the right. By keeping the top vertices still, this creates a parallax effect on the ground, with the lower part moving faster and slower moving towards the upper part. Ok, now I'll do a test. As you can see, the lower part of the ground, the one closest to us, is moving faster than the one in the background. Now that we have the ground as a reference, I can start adding the vertical elements. Let's start from this one. For example, you see these black dots. I will use them as a reference to move this wall more precisely. Between 3 and 6 seconds, I set the move and scale keyframes with the same timing as the terrain. Trying to understand where those black dots are moving, I will move the wall accordingly. Those points moving back in the timeline move to the right. At this point, I move the shape. And as you can see, the shape remains anchored to the ground, already creating an interesting parallax effect. Next step, I'll add the other elements too, such as the grids in the background. This element, being more in the background and in the highest part of the ground, will certainly have a less incisive movement. The timing will always be the same. Now let's try to understand what reference on the ground we can follow. For example, I have these little dots. They are approximately at the junction between the grids. Let's try to follow. I think I can use this reference and move the shape on the right. Let's do a test. Do you see how it moves slightly compared to the wall in the foreground? This creates a very interesting parallax effect. With the same timing, I will also move this grid on the left. Set the keyframe here. Ok. I'll fix it these two. I'm going to look for a reference on the ground. Let's try with these dots. I would say that the points are in that place, so I can move the grid here. Ok, let's do a test. I think it could work this way. I'm reactivating this one too, and let's try again. Great. Next step, I'm going to add the wall in the foreground, which will have to be the one to move a lot more. Of course, with the same timing of the other animations, 3 and 6 seconds. Here it's much easier. I choose this point as a reference. We follow them. And at this point I move the wall. Ok. Let's do a new test. See how the parallax effect works perfectly with the element in the foreground moving faster than the background. Now we can add some camera movements. I add some move and scale keyframes to the wall group containing the scene. I put one here at 3 seconds and another will naturally be at the point 0 of the timeline. As I was telling you at the beginning, it's important that the anchor point is in the center of the scene if I have to do zooms like this, for example. This allows me to zoom in on the scene from 3 seconds onwards, showing the entire landscape, as if the scene were opening up onto the environment. But let's go back to the starting point here. I'm going to zoom the scene showing only the wall practically. I also move a little to the left so that the background is not visible. And letting the zoom go back to the original state at 3 seconds, the scene opens like this. Between 0 and 3 seconds I want the scene to keep the same zoom, and then open up showing the landscape. Then I add a keyframe at 6 seconds, practically corresponding to the parallax effect. Now I can expand the coordinates, select these two keyframes on scale, copy, and paste it at 3 seconds. In this way the camera slides on the wall and then opens onto the background, with the parallax effect that completes the animation. And I can say that I like what we did together today, much more than the work I had already done. I would say that you always learn something new. There are some basic effects that I have already added as I was telling you, like this smoke effect that I created with the noise filter. On my channel you can already find many tutorials about it, because it's a really versatile tool that can be used to make everything from smoke to fire to water. Of course, I still have to integrate them as best as possible into the scene, but when we talk about cinematic effects, we'll come back to them, also because we'll be at the end of this series of tutorials and we'll have already done everything else that will help to make everything much cooler. One last effect I want to add is a bit of blur to the vertical elements behind the main wall. Blur that will have to be before the opening on the landscape in order to accentuate what is in the foreground. I then set a blur keyframe here at 3 seconds on the wall back there, for example of 5. When opening the scene at 6 seconds, I set another keyframe with the value at 0. Let's do a test. This is the blurred element. This effect is used to accentuate what happens between 0 and 3 seconds, and then open the scene onto the landscape, giving greater depth to the wall. I'll add some blur to the grids at the bottom too, with the same timing. A little less of blur here, for example 3. Now I set the blur also here. Okay, I think this is the final test. Great! An effect that gives a lot of depth to the scene and moves the viewer's attention from a close-up to a wider scene. Well, dreamers, we have reached the end of this fantastic tutorial. Today I talked to you about parallax and camera movements, which, as you know, are a very important topic for me. In the next video I will start animating the character. I think it will be fun. I advise you to stay connected so as not to miss the next episodes of this series. I remind you that you can find the link to the file in the description if you want to try to do some tests. You can also find my Discord link where we exchange ideas on animations. Write me in the comments if you need help. Thank you so much for watching and